Big Ben is one of the most well-known clocks around the world. It stands at 7 feet, 6 inches tall, and is located in London. Every year, thousands and thousands of people travel to London just to see this clock. This is because it is a symbol of Britain and all its grandness. Personally, I would rather go home and see a clock that sits on my dresser than travel to London just to see Big Ben. My favorite object that I own is this clock. Recently, my granddad gifted me this clock, and it is one of his favorite hobbies that he has. I unfortunately don't have it with me today, but it stands about 10 inches tall, it's a rectangle frame, and it's made of oak wood. It has Roman numeral black numbers around the clock, and it has a golden pendulum that swings underneath the face. It was his hobby and craft, and he wanted to share it with me as something that I can keep after he's gone. Him sharing this hobby with me is a way that we have grown closer in the past year. He is really special to me, and this makes this specific object very special. I love my granddad, and I have always grown up with him about 20 to 30 minutes down Highway 31. Many memories I have surrounding him are in my grandparents' home. I used to sit on their living room floor and watch TV and hear the golden pendulum tick behind me in the background. They had a 6-foot oak clock with a long, narrow gold pendulum attached. It also had Roman numerals. They also had many different cuckoo clocks around the house, so on the hour I could always count to hear one. I used to love sitting by the clock as well and just watching it. When I got to pick out my clock that he was making for me, I wanted to make sure there was a pendulum on it. This is because whenever I hear it or catch a glance, I can always be reminded of those memories and be reminded of him. He, for as long as I can remember, has always been making clocks. He's been making them before I was born and even before my dad was born. It started as a hobby and it turned into a craft. His friends would even get him to restore their broken clocks. This is a talent and a gift that not many people possess, and I love looking at his work ethic on the clocks. When I see the clocks, I'm reminded to work just as hard as he has. Although the clock is just an object, it could break or burn, you could tear it apart and disperse all of the parts. But what makes it so special to me is that it was put together by a family member that I love very much. It is a conglomeration of wood and metal, but it has so much more meaning than that. I would not be who I am today without his love and support. This clock is a symbol of remembrance every time I catch a glance at it or try to read the time. It is an object that can move from house to house or city to city with me, and it will always carry the same memory of my granddad.